calling Puerto Ricans trash, calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
Extremely vile so-called jokes.
A comedian who offered unfunny, racist, cringeworthy.
It's been a couple of days since the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden, and the left is continuing to have a complete meltdown because Tony Hinchcliffe, a roast comedian, made a joke about Puerto Rico having a lot of garbage or being a floating pile of garbage. A joke told by a comedian that specializes in roasting and telling harsh jokes, right? And like I said, it's been days. The left is still faking outrage. None of them are really offended, but they're pretending to be offended because they think they have something to gain here. They think they could talk Puerto Rican voters into getting angry and voting for Kamala because it's all they really got. Well, meanwhile, today, the President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, in response to this joke, told by a roast comedian, the President of the United States of America just said that half of Americans are garbage, that Trump supporters and anyone who votes for him, they're garbage. This not coming from a comedian, this coming from the President of the United States. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Now, I know it's easy to forget that Joe Biden is president. So here's the reminder, folks. Joe Biden, the man you just watched in that clip, the dementia-ridden old geezer you just watched in that clip, is the current president of the United States. Is he really calling the shots? No. Is he really running the show? No. But that's the president. I think there's a big difference between a roast comedian making a joke and the President of the United States calling half of America, or in reality, probably more than half of America, complete garbage. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be as outraged as the left is pretending to be outraged at that Tony Hinchcliffe joke. But the reason I'm not really outraged, the reason you're not getting this meltdown reaction from me is because we're used to this. This is the type of stuff that we're used to hearing 24/7 from the left. It doesn't come as a surprise when we hear the President of the United States of America refer to half of America as garbage. And it really lets you know where their priorities lie. It really lets you know how they feel about you. They feel that you're garbage. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, this was not a joke. You see, the joke about Puerto Rico being garbage, that was a joke told by a comedian during a comedy skit at the Trump rally. Joe Biden is not a comedian. He's not a roast comedian. He's the President of the United States, sitting in the White House, calling Americans garbage. There's a big difference, and I don't even have to explain it. But like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be as outraged as the left, but one thing I will tell you is this. Every single last scumbag, every single fake-ass MFer that you saw on your timelines on social media that you heard at your job, every last one of those fake MFers that pretended to be all outraged about that Puerto Rico joke, not a single one of them has opened their lying lips to say a damn thing about what Joe Biden just said. Now, if you're offended by the Puerto Rico joke, you should damn well be offended by the President of the United States not making a joke, but in all seriousness telling you, oh, half of America is garbage, right? If you're going to be offended at the Puerto Rico joke, you got to be offended at this. But no one's saying anything about this because in the long run, in the reality, no one was ever offended in the first place. It's all just about political gain. But Joe Biden maybe just made a huge misstep. We'll see how this turns out. For now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.